Welcome to another episode of the Hustle and Grind podcast.
I am Monique. They call me Mo Hustle.
They call me the Grind Guy.
I be up early in the morning.
You wake up like, why?
I gotta do to get this money,
We are the non-traditional couple.
You okay? Yeah.
The Hustle and the Grind.
The Hustle and Grind podcast. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Hustle and Grind podcast. I'm the Grind Guy.
I'm your girl, Mo Hustle. And the Hustle and the Grind podcast, we talk about everything that's entrepreneur related. What it takes, the hustle, the grind.
Every day.
Every day.
As entrepreneurs, as whatever you do in life, like school, playing basketball overseas, professional athlete, whatever you do, you need hustle and grind.
Absolutely. So, John, tell the people who we have today.
Hey, man. Hey, man, we got my boy Akeem Scott in the building, man. Hey, look, I've been knowing this dude over 10 years, ever since I known him, one of the hardest working people I've ever met in my life. Just a lot of good things to say about Akeem Scott. Hey, Akeem, talk to us, man. Tell us who is Akeem Scott. Let the people know who Akeem Scott is.
What's good, man? So it's your boy Akeem Scott. Man, I'm originally from New York, born and raised in New York. Moved when I was 14 years old, moved to Woodbridge, Virginia. And my whole life has been dedicated to playing basketball pretty much. And I just had all these different levels of playing, just playing from street ball, going to high school, state championship, lost that, went to JUCO because my grades wasn't good. So my whole story is pretty much every time I go down 2 or 3 steps, I'm 10-folded up, you know what I mean? So that's pretty much who Akeem Scott is.
Okay.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So, Akeem, I want you to touch on one thing. You said you went to JUCO.
Yeah.
So tell us about your JUCO experience.
Yeah, man. So in high school, I led my team to a state championship, to the state championship game. We lost. I wasn't recruited high. The whole time I wanted to go D1, and I wasn't going to settle for nothing less. So I didn't get no D1 offers, and so the only thing left for me was JUCO. So I went to the junior college. I was recruited by Catonsville Community College. Coach Gregory was in love with my game, in love with my speed, my attitude, and everything I brought to the table. I was having a good year. I was having a great year. And mid-season, I found out when we went to a JUCO tournament that the JUCO that I was playing with was a Division II JUCO.
Division II JUCO?
Division II JUCO.
Word.
Hold on. What's that mean? Like, for the people that's watching that don't know what a Division II JUCO is, because everybody just think JUCO. They don't know what the Division II JUCO is.
Exactly.
Like, everybody feel like off the rip immediately. I'm like, okay, so what level is that?
Right. So everybody think JUCO is just like one level.
Right.
And it has 3 levels. As far as I know back then, it was Division I, which is the top, Division II, and Division III. We was on Division II level. When I realized that, I was like, and I could be wrong. It'd be 100% wrong, but I felt like that wasn't the path to go Division I. So when I after the season was done, I had a great season. When we was in the Maryland JUCO tournament, we beat a team called Garrett College. Garrett College was a Division I JUCO. So my mind is a competitive. You can't beat them, join them. So we beat them. So I'm figuring like they want me to come over there, So my boy Stackhouse, Darren Stackhouse, who also was like a rival of my high school, they needed a guard. I hit him up. I was like, yo, what your guards look like, this, that, and the third. He was like, yo, bro, if you want to come, we're going to take you in a heartbeat. It don't matter what our guard situation look like. So the coach called my house. My mom picked up the phone. She was like, just make sure you take care of my baby. So that was it. And I went to the JUCO. I went to Garrett College. And when I went there, the first thing he said to me was like, I think you could be an NBA guard. And he was like, but you just got to follow my lead. And I haven't known this guy for like 2 or 3 days, but for him to say that, you know what I'm saying, it was like really dope for me. So I was like, what you want me to do? He was like, I want you to redshirt here for a year, work on your body, continue to work on your game. He was like, I like the guards and stuff that I got now. And he said, but if you do that, I'll make sure that everybody will see who you really are, and we'll give the keys to you to the team for the following year. And he did that, and I became a JUCO All-American.
Man, hey, hold up. Like, you went past that like that was just real easy. Like, you leave one school that you playing at, right?
Yep.
You starting guard at that school, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so we went from starting to beating this team, and now you go to this other team that they say, look, I love your game, you NBA profile, right? In the first 2-3 days, and now he's saying you got a red shirt for a year because I like my guards.
Yeah.
So tell me what that felt like, because as an athlete, you immediately, someone may think, oh, I just demoted myself because I just walked into this situation.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, it's egos for all us athletes, right? The ego kicks in. It's like, yo, I'll bust these dudes' ass.
So what was that practice like? Because we've had these conversations.
I mean, practice. I was at everybody's neck. I wanted the coach to change his decision,
Right.
and be like, no, we'll take you right now, like, you know. But the way how my grades was as well. I mean, I was doing better, but just as far as the credits and stuff like that, it was opportunity for me to still, if I stood that 1 year for redshirting, the following year I would get my associate's degree in childhood elementary education. So I started looking at that part of the journey as well too, because I didn't want to keep messing up on the education part. It's not like how times is now where you don't need a degree to be successful.
Right.
We didn't have social media like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the blueprint was get your degree. So for me, nobody had a degree in my family. So I'm like, oh, I'm already making a step. I'm already breaking the chain for my family. Like, even though it's an associate degree,
It's a degree.
It's a degree. And that's how I'm looking at it. So the maturity kicked in. And obviously the competitiveness in me every day, I'm trying to get the coach to change his mind. But he's seen something in me special. And I think that it wasn't about him saying the guards were better than me. He wanted the show to be about me. He wanted to give me the keys to the car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. So that summer, I got sent to a JUCO All-American camp. So I wasn't a JUCO All-American at that time, but when I left that camp, they was like, oh, shit, Akeem Scott is the real deal, you know?
Yeah.
So I was ranked top 10, and I started getting different D1 offers. And then I had to make a decision from there. It's like, do I go big D1 school? Then now I walk into an auditorium, and my name is no longer a name; it's a number. I'm thinking about the education part again, because I can't do big classes. I know that I won't be able to focus. Whether it's the teacher, I need that one-on-one attention, or it's the girls. Once again, you got to make the mature decision. So I was like, I'm gonna go small. I'm gonna go small D1.
Dope.
And that's when I went to High Point University on a full ride.
Say that again.
High Point University.
On a full ride.
Full ride.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So one of the things, you know, when it comes to redshirting, you know, like we all have athletic backgrounds. So, you know, when you think about redshirting and even like you said, just having to come and prove yourself and earn your spot on another team, like what would you tell the young people that right now have opportunities that may not be the opportunity that they may have desired or preferred? What advice would you give that young person right now?
It's not you versus everyone else. It's the mindset should be me versus me, and you got to run your own lane. I read a book, What's It Take to Be Number One by Vince Lombardi. Well, his son wrote it, but it's about Vince Lombardi, and he has this thing called the comparative growth. And you don't compare yourself to no one else. You just constantly look at yourself, where you at now and where you should be in a few months, a few weeks, few months, and in the next following year, and then it goes 5 years from there. So if you're redshirting and you feel some way about it, just look at where you're exact right now. Get a book, get a journal it down where you at as far as your game, your shot, your finances, whatever it is in life, and then start going from there. Start going from there and compare yourself to yourself. So me versus me attitude, me versus me mindset. And that's what I would say to the red shirt, to the kid that's about the red shirt. Don't worry about nobody else. Just run your lane. Do what you got to do to get better. So when that year comes, you know, you're properly prepared.
Y'all youngins better listen to him.
Hey, listen up, because I know a lot of young kids, everybody want to be the man. Everybody want to be that one. I got to start. I can't come off the bench.
Right.
You don't know your role.
Right.
It's all the coaches mad at me. The coach won't let me play. He won't let me rock and do me. But everybody knows that when your time is your time, you got to stay ready so you don't got to get ready.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah, so another thing, you know, everybody hears trust the process, trust the process.
Yeah.
Like, that's a true example of, like, literally trusting the process.
Facts.
So,
Yep.
So, Keem, at what point did you get your opportunity to play professional basketball?
So I graduated at a High Point. Once again, I was always that kid that never really had too many people looking at him. So I just get this random phone call. I went to like a JUCO camp. I get this random phone call. It's a guy named Kim Rasum from Germany, and he was like, I
Like
really
that name, Kim Roxon.
and then it's like
Sound like money.
I really, hey man, he started the journey, and I'm like, yo. He was like, pretty much like, I like your game. I can't get you a job just off of your highlights and stuff like that. But if you come live with me for a month or two, you know, I can get you a job to play basketball overseas.
Hold up, man. Hold up.
I'm like, Germany?
Hold up. Yo, let me ask you something. At that point,
Yeah.
have you ever been out the country?
Nah, I never, when I was a kid, but I don't remember.
Yeah. I'm talking about like as.
Nah, not as like a teenager, nothing like
So what was that process like? Like getting your passport, like doing all the things that
Right.
you got to do to go across the water. Like you like Germany? I know your family. You know, everybody's like, yo, what Germany?
Right.
Like you know where Germany? Like Germany. What was that like? Like somebody asking you to come play ball, but we know the passion. We know what's there as an
Right.
athlete. Like yo, I'll go wherever
You
I
didn't
need
know-
to go.
You didn't know this guy from.
I never met him in
But
my
he's
guy walking
life.
down the street.
Yeah, and
One-
then he's saying, "Come live with me for like,
Right.
come live with me for a couple months,
That's
this and
scary.
that." It's,
Yeah.
That's
but as an
scary.
athlete, you know, and
Yeah.
and me knowing Keem, the desire of where he's trying to go is like, whoa, like, all right, this the opportunity. Opportunity present itself.
Right.
I gotta go. It don't matter.
Right.
Whatever this dude is, who he is, I
Right,
don't
right,
know
right.
him, but shit, we gonna find out.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what was that like? Talk about that process.
So I even remember the day, like even filling out the paperwork to get my passport. I'm at the post office with my mom. My mom is looking kind of like what the fuck going on right now? This dude about to go to Germany, like what?
She's like, you sure?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And like, for me, I was just like, I was numb to the situation. Like sometimes when you're young, you ever seen like kids perform on a big stage, whether it's like the Olympics, the gymnastics, those kids, they don't got nerves. They don't know what it is. They don't really know a big stage.
They don't know.
Real.
They're just going out there. and
They're
about
just
to
going
go
out there and just doing what
do
they
whatever.
practice. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like I played basketball my whole life. There was no nerves inside of me that said, "Oh no, this guy you may
Do
never
something,
yeah,
right.
might do something too. You may never see your
Right.
family, or you know what I'm saying. This might be your last time in
Like
the US."
I'm destined for this. This is what it's supposed to be. I was
This-
supposed to get a call from
Right.
Germany.
Exactly. Like this sounds correct to me. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
So it wasn't no hesitation on my part. It was like once I got the phone call, I'm like screaming upstairs, like, "Yo, ma, I'm about to go.
I'm about to
Germany."
go.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
yo,
out. I'm
I'm
about
outta
to go to
here.
Germany. So
You yell upstairs to my, hey, mom, I'm about to go to Germany. She like, what?
right.
Yeah, she like, yeah, all right, yeah, all right, yeah. Go sit down. Yo, wash some dishes.
Go sit your ass down somewhere. Tell me
Go
some
wash
damn
some
Germany.
dishes.
And yeah, man. So once it got real once I got my passport. Because as soon as I got my passport, he was like, he paid for it. He paid for the flight. He paid for everything for me to get in the country. And it was just a lot of tears, like a lot of tears from my family members. It's one thing to go to college, but it's a whole other thing to go across the world.
Right.
you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And this is not once again, this is not this time of like social media. There is no, actually, you know, there was MySpace. This is how long I've been in the
MySpace.
game. MySpace was still popping. This is how long I've been in the game.
That's
So,
been a minute ago. Everybody that knows.
there's MySpace, and you know, like our moms and everybody, they wasn't on no damn MySpace. You know, they
weren't on
they
social media
Right,
yet.
they wasn't
They
on
wasn't-
social media like that. So get out there to Germany. He had a 2-bedroom house. He living with his girlfriend. I'm in there. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, let's go to work. He put me with a team in That we was in a city called and I was there as a practice player, and it was just to get me in shape until he got me an opportunity. And that was the beginning of the journey.
That's the beginning of the
That was
journey.
the beginning.
So that was the beginning of the journey, right? So let's talk about how many stamps is on that passport.
And what year was that?
That was 2006.
Okay.
Yeah, 2006. That's when I graduated. So right after that, I was out maybe like 2 or 3 months after that. So it was like more like
Hold on. So hold on. This is back. So you graduate from High Point,
Yep.
and you gone like 3 months later, like out the country.
Yeah, out the country. Gone.
Hey, life changes like that.
Hey, but that's why you got to have those goals and those those
Facts.
affirmations, all that positivity, because you never know when that call is going to come, and when that call does come, you got to be ready.
You gotta be prepared. And I was ready. I was always ready. I was doing 5 a.m.s by myself back then.
Yeah.
So
For y'all don't know what 5 a.m.s are. What's 5 a.m.?
you wake up at 4, you're in the gym by 5, and you start the grind. There it is right there.
Get that hustling. Yes, sir.
And that grind. You heard him
That's
say
right.
grind and hustle. So let's go.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Yeah. But all right. So now that we know about that journey, let's talk about, like I said, those stamps on that passport.
Oh, the stamp. So my first passport, I had over 52 stamps in my first passport.
Damn.
Yeah. And after that, I'm probably somewhere now, like with all my passports. I got Jamaican passport as well, too. I play for the Jamaican national team. I play for them. I'm probably somewhere maybe like 70, 80. I'm in that area, 80 stamps maybe.
Damn.
Easily, yeah.
That's fire. So let's see. This is 2023. And you talking about you made that trip in 06.
06.
So fast forward, you're 17 years in.
Yep.
17 years in.
Yep.
Say it again. 17 years.
Yep.
17 years in. So how do you balance like everything, your family life? You know, tell us about that.
So it's it gets very different when you start to add your family into it, your wife and your kids and stuff like that. It starts to get a little more difficult off the court. In the beginning, it was easy because you're single.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just move how you want to move. But now when you got a wife and you got your kids, there's always a conversation. Is this the right team? Is this the right country? Do we want to take this? Is this enough money? So those start to play into those.
Right, because when you're single, the money is like I'm going to play ball, so somebody gonna see me.
Yeah,
but when
you're taking, I tell anybody this, like when you first coming out of college, if you're not coming out of a big school and you ain't do your thing or you ain't get an NBA look, if somebody offer you $1,500 a month to go play, go play, go get the experience.
Right.
And I would say to make sure, like you come back with a little bread in your pocket, live with your mother until you're damn near done. Only have a phone bill. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to buy a car, make sure the car is a used car and you could just buy a couple thousand, little hoopty or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Be humble how you live. And you'll come back with some bread. Like I did the same thing. Like I wasn't moving. Until my girl told me to move out, I wasn't moving out of my mom's crib. Because at the time, my first job was only, like $1,500 a month. It was about $1,500, $1,200 a month. And I had to sometimes, so you get 1 meal on your contract. So what I would do is this place called Red Onnula. It was in Finland. And I would take Tupperware, and it was an all-you-can-eat spot. So you wasn't allowed to take food. You wasn't allowed to take food. But you're making $1,200. At the time, the euro was stronger than the dollar. So every time I spend $1, you know what I'm saying, it's like double. You know what I'm saying? Every time I spend, so I'm like, fuck that. I'm grabbing these mashed potatoes. I'm grabbing this salmon over here. So I would have my book bag on the side, and I would have these Tupperwares, and I would go up, and I would just start dumping a whole bunch of shit. Sometimes I would mix all the food together, and sometimes that food would be my dinner and my breakfast. And then I would always come at a certain time, like close to afternoon, evening. So I would tell the guys that's coming out of college, just live humbly, man. Just only have a phone bill. And make sure you're living with whoever's been raising you, live with them. And when you come back home, sometimes just, put a little dollars into the house. Like, hey, Ma, hey, Pops, here's some grocery money. Here's $250, you know what I'm saying? Buy some groceries. So they can be like, at least he contributed. You know what I'm saying? Keep the crib clean. So they don't mind you coming back.
Exactly.
They love, like, my baby's coming back home, right? They enjoy that part.
So that's what you call sacrifice.
Man,
so you're sacrificing, because the thing is, a lot of people don't know how to just sacrifice. Like, you know what, I got to give this up. I got to give up, hanging out or shopping or whatever the case may be for the big picture.
Right.
So how long would you say your sacrifice actually? How long did you sacrifice all those things?
Good question.
I mean, you got to sacrifice throughout your whole career. Because now you got these different components and elements that are happening when you go to different markets and stuff like that. I'll say this, it's just so people could understand what I was coming back home to. I knew that one of my nephews who worked in McDonald's was making more money than me. And I still had people calling my phone asking me for bread. And I'm like, you better ask him. You better ask the one that's flipping the burgers. And I knew it. But the fact that I was
they think you have it just because you're playing
overseas.
professional
You're like, yo, he
basketball.
overseas. He got the bread. Like they sick for him.
Exactly.
They flew him out.
Exactly.
They got his passport.
Right.
They paying for it. He got money.
He got money. So because he hear the basketball thing. So that's another thing, man. You gotta be very humble, man. You can't be like, I know some people who try to act like they got it and they just giving it, and next thing you know, they broke. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, that was one of the things when I came back home, I was like, oh shit, This dude make more money than me. He work at McDonald's. So I thought that was hilarious, dog. But yeah, you got to sacrifice, man.
But-
you got to be humble about
But
it.
throughout that journey, though, like even if he flipping burgers and making more money than you doing what you love, what you're
doing what I
passionate
love.
about.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all that
That's the
matters.
big picture.
So people don't understand the happiness part.
Right,
Like,
right.
If I'm happy making less than somebody that's playing flipping burgers at
Right.
McDonald's, but I'm playing and doing what I love to do, it don't even matter. I do because it's only a limited time because of my workforce and what you putting into your body and how you work out and how you put into the game
Right.
of that before you get seen that you can take that next level.
Right.
So
No, exactly. So it's definitely about the love, and to go back to your point, back to your question about sacrificing, you got to sacrifice throughout your career. So in overseas basketball, you got to understand the markets. What I am in one market, I may not be in the next market, right? So I wasn't high paid in Europe. I wasn't a European style guard. Now I am, but at the time I went in the game, they wasn't big on scoring guards. But when I went to South America, they love scoring guards. So
Your value.
value went up.
my
Right.
value went up, right? And then at that time, I was playing with the Jamaican national team. I competed against high-profile players: J.J. Barrera, Carlos Arroyo. You know what I'm saying? Carl Townsend, and I was constantly bumping into NBA
Okay,
players. I was
yeah.
on the stage with them,
Right.
so I got to prove that I could be on the stage with NBA
Because you're
players.
supposed to be there.
Right? So
That's dope. Can
But-
you imagine like that feeling when you
What?
actually? It's like because when you sacrifice, you think about all those nights where you're thinking about my cousin working at McDonald's making more money than me.
Right.
But then when you can say that you even just experienced that, like that's
Yeah,
priceless.
yeah.
no, it's priceless.
That's super priceless.
Yeah.
Like the names that you name, like people like those names, those are big name
Yeah.
Big
players.
names.
Like everybody knows who that is when you say it.
Yeah.
Like they know who J.J. Barrera is. They know who Royal.
Right.
They know Townsend. Like
Right.
they know these names. Like when you say it, I'm like, okay, I know everybody that you just said.
Right.
So,
Yeah, man, and that's the whole thing. So when I got to go to South America, I was able to step on a stage where people already had the light. So now, you do your thing. They got to share that light with you a little bit, win or lose. People going to remember who you are. And that was the effect. So when I try to go back to Europe, because Europe had like this, everybody, the goal is to go to Europe, playing the biggest leagues and Euro leagues and stuff like that. But I still wasn't getting the proper offer. So if I went back to Europe just to say I played in Europe, I would have to make a sacrifice for money again. And I wasn't willing to do that. Now I want my value.
At this point.
At this
Because
point in my
what
career.
year was that?
It's like year 6,
Year
7.
6. So year 6, year 7, you like, yo, no more of that.
Yeah.
I got value. I've been doing this for 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
Y'all need to pay me.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
It's like what it is. It's like
Right.
y'all see the stats. Y'all see what's been done. Because for what I know, most of the teams that you play for, y'all went playoffs.
Yeah. Every team I play for.
So
Every
that's
team.
that's big for a team that's overseas across the water.
Right.
Like it's guaranteed if we get Akeem Scott to come to the team, we at least going to the playoffs
We're
at
at least
minimum.
going to the playoffs, yeah.
So what was like that turning point to where like that value? Like, do you remember what year that was, or like exactly which team that was?
Yeah.
When the value actually went up on Akeem Scott.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take a drink before I say what I say. Because another very humbling moment for me. So I step on the court and we in I believe we was in Puerto Rico this game, and we're playing against Puerto Rico, and the crowd is fucking crazy. I can't hear myself. Me and my boy Terrell, we're standing next to each other and we can't hear each other talk. And it's that crazy. So they announced everybody, Ronaldo Bulkman and all these other guys, and then they announced Carlos Arroyo, and the shit just goes crazy. And I'm like, wait, why is Carlos Arroyo not last being named? Because at the time I thought he was the bigger name. And then they go to J.J. Barrera. And this was the longest fucking introduction I've ever heard in my life. And it was like, obviously speaking in Spanish, and then you hear JJ. And these motherfuckers is going crazy. They people like waving like the flags, they throwing their shirts, they getting crazy. And I'm like, oh shit, my boy T is looking at me like, yo, what? I can't even hear him saying, yo, what the fuck? Like, I just got to read it, And I'm like, yo, this shit is scary. It's like scary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this shit, and as we saying all this, they still on the second J. He's crazy. And then he got like another name, and then it's da 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 da. And once he said that, it's a motherfucking party. They already won. Like, this shit is over. I said, God damn. All right, so, we get to the huddle. You got to put your big boy pants on and shit.
You're like,
you
all
play
right.
for the Mavericks and stuff like that. Like, so my head coach actually coached him in Dallas. And Sam Vincent. And Sam was like, they knew my aggression style of playing defense. So I'm like, I'm guarding this motherfucker 94 feet.
That's right.
Oh, say it again for the people in the back that can't hear. That, like, say it for the kids that don't play defense.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I want the kids that don't play defense, like, oh, I got to be a scorer, or I got to be this, I got to be that.
I don't have
Say
to
it
play
for
defense.
them.
Right.
Yeah.
Because everybody feel like, if I could score,
Right.
but you're not scoring like everybody else. There's some scores that, talk about that part.
So
The 94 feet.
yeah, so man, I'm going 94 feet on everybody, especially back then, and I didn't really care. I wasn't gonna give nobody the respect that I guess they felt like they deserve or wanted or needed. I don't know. Like it's like you playing against me. This is my style. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna play my style of ball today, and yeah. So that's what it is. So I would tell kids to try to get the 94. Not everybody can do it. It's not easy. Like you gotta really be in shape to 94 feet somebody. You really got to be tactical in what you do. You got to send people to dead spots. You got to try to get them at the point when they get to half court that you kind of turn them real quick and the ball go back over half court. So there's a lot of tactics with it. I would tell people to watch Della Vadova, Patrick Beverly. I would tell them to watch these type of guys. You know what I'm saying? Because I may think he's just playing wild, hustle, he playing with his heart, but there's a tactic. I know it because I see it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm going 94 feet. I mean, this story has a little twist to it because I went 94 feet and I got my ass bust.
Did you?
30. The 30.
Well, yeah. What was it? What was after you did the 94 feet? Like, what was the end? You said you got your ass buzzed. Like, what happened in that moment? Like, you went 94 feet.
And then,
Said pause.
yeah, man. So like JJ, man, JJ is an outstanding guard. I think he's so underrated just in the history of basketball. Period. So. You pressure JJ, JJ's going to go. You pressure him to speed him up, he's going to go fast, and then you're going to get hit with a screen very hard. Then.
So he running you to the screen.
Yeah, he running you to the screen. The screen is coming.
Yeah.
Those are like high top profile big men. So the screen is coming, so you got to watch out for that. You got to be on a swivel. Then if you go under on the screen, he's going to shoot
Pull
the three.
three.
He's going to pull up.
Yeah.
If you go over, he's going to go in and create. And now it may not be him scoring, but it might be the next person scoring because they got to help the helper.
The assist. So now your big man or whoever that other person is getting scored on because they're coming to help.
Right.
And it's like a drop off.
Exactly. So you got that, or somebody's kicking it. They're kicking it to the corner for a three. So pretty much the whole game, my coach looked at me. He was like, all right, it is what it is now. Like, you just got to do it. So he left me out there and just, like, I pretty much got dragged the whole game. Like, I was like, oh, shit. Like, this shit is crazy.
Just leave him out there on the island by himself.
Yeah, bro. So, but I'm thankful for that experience because I played in Montenegro the following year. I played in Montenegro, and every day that I went to the gym early, all I thought about was JJ Barrera.
Where's Montenegro for the people that don't know?
In Europe.
Okay.
It's in Europe. And every day I thought about him before practice, after practice. It was a constant thought. Like he was like, no, they saying that rent free.
Yeah.
He was there. He was living there. He got a sofa.
Hey,
He got
shout out to
everything.
JJ. Yo,
Right.
JJ Barrera. If you watching, my boy Akeem Scott said he appreciated it because that right there set the tone for what? Where did you go after that? Now you thinking about him every practice, every game, everything in Montenegro. Then what?
So I do my thing in Montenegro. I'm playing in the Baltic League. I believe that year I got like first team all Baltic and stuff like that. I did well. But I wasn't really worrying about that. I was worrying about going back to the national team. And sure enough, we get back to the national team. And now who do we have to play again?
JJ Barrera.
JJ Barrera.
JJ!
Right. But this time we're not in Puerto Rico.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so it's different. It's a different.
Yeah, we in DR. But the difference is not the place. The difference was me. Now I didn't took a whole year
to revamp.
To figure out what I want to do, how I want to, I
Maybe
got
watch
bigger,
some
I got
film,
stronger,
study.
all that shit.
Yeah.
And when I played JJ, we lost the game, but that was a game where people said,
Who was that?
"Who's Akeem Scott?"
Right.
Because
That's all you needed.
I still stuck to my style, but I knew what they was gonna do. I knew the screens was coming. I knew that if I went under, I got to hurry up and jump and go push him back the other way. I knew sometimes I had to give him different looks. Keep my hand out there for the long jump shot. So we battled. We battled, and the game was so crazy. We ended up losing at the end, but the Mexican national team coach, after the game, met me at the hotel, and he was like, "Hey, Scott." He was just sitting in the lobby, just like literally at the door. And I was like, "Hey, coach, what's going on?" Because I knew who he was, and he was just like, "Where are you playing at?" And I was like, my last year I played in Montenegro. And he was like, "How much are you making?" So in my back of my head, I wasn't making much in Europe at the time.
You weren't gonna be ready to tell him that.
And I was like, "Oh shit! Like I think I might get an offer."
Right.
So I doubled that number.
Yeah.
I doubled that number.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, I'm making this. I think about going back." And he took that number and added a couple thousand to it, and was like, "Sign right now."
If you sign right now,
right now.
If you so let's talk about that, because when opportunity presents itself, a lot of people don't want to take the opportunity. Like, oh nah, I might wait because somebody else. If you doing it, somebody else gonna do it.
Right.
Like income may be higher.
Yeah.
But you said, nah, forget that, scratch that. Somebody's willing to give me double what I'm making plus a couple thousand more.
yeah.
I'm going.
I'm
This is
out.
where I sign up.
Yeah,
where
yeah.
I sign? You
That's
got
a
a contract
fact.
on you right now?
Exactly. So I was like, "Yo, I'm good. Like, let's get it done." So he was like, "My GM is on the way." I called him. I told him I was waiting for you. He on his way as well. I gave him my hotel room number. He said, "I'm gonna call you." I stood there. So for those who don't know, in national tournaments, they got locker rooms and stuff like that, but everybody's going in and out. So you really don't got time to like take showers and stuff. You just kind of dry off, put your clothes back on. They drive you to your hotel, which is usually like 5 minutes away. And that's what happened. So I just I'm sitting at the phone. I'm sitting there. Not as soon as that shit rang, pick up.
Hello? Yo.
What's
It's
going
King.
on? Hey, he downstairs. So I walked downstairs, and they gave me the offer on the spot, and I took it, and that's when I started playing in South America.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now we in South America. And we playing ball. But let's talk about what happens in between that time, because I know the family.
Yep.
I know everything that happened within that time frame. So
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
talk about family. Let's talk about that real quick.
As far as like what happened in the midst of that, like in my career, like when I didn't have a job.
Yeah, let's talk about you. We could talk about that as well. Because what was the mindset in not having that job? Like what did that feel like? Because now you done did this, you done made all these accomplishments.
Right.
Everybody knows who Akeem Scott is, but
Yeah, so for some odd reason I didn't get picked up. My agent couldn't find me a job, this, that, and the third. I didn't know what it was. And I was always showing up to LA Fitness. I'm killing everybody at LA Fitness. And then just so happened, the guy to the right of me, the grind guy, came to me and was like, "Yo, bro, why you still here? Like why you not back overseas?" And I was just like, "I don't know." And he was like, "I know." He was like, "Give me your phone number." So I'm thinking this dude got some connections overseas or something. So I'm like, "Oh shit, this is gonna be a random connect." All right, cool. He called me on Sunday and was like, "Yo, what you doing?" I was like, "I'm chilling." He was like, "Yo, me and my girl coming to get you. We're going to church." Church? They giving out jobs at church? So he picked me up. We go to church, and on the first sermon, shout out to Pastor Kearney.
Dope.
The first one I went to, he said, if you keep putting things in front of God, He'll take it away from you. If you keep putting things in front of God, He'll take it away from you, no matter what it is. And he named stuff like job, girlfriend, marriage. If you put it in front of God, God will take it away from you. And instantly the tears fell out my eyes because I knew that was me, because everything about me was basketball. You know what I'm saying? And the second sermon was, "This is how you get it back." And so I'm going to church every Sunday, and sure enough, the sermon was purely for me. And I'm like, all right, this is how I get it back. So it's put God first. So the whole year I just got my relationship right with God. And then sure enough, out of nowhere, that's when I got a job.
No.
God.
You can't skip that. You can't skip the part with the lady.
The
Yo,
part?
you can't skip that
man.
part, because the way that, so for people that don't, let's say this, I'm a believer, right?
I'm a believer.
I'm a believer. So
believer.
if you're not a believer, okay, whatever. Whoever you believe in, whatever you believe in,
Right.
okay, that's fine. So he looks at, so they start calling people to the front,
Right.
like, yo, if you need prayer, come down for prayer. This and that, da da da. So Akeem looked at me like, yo, bro, let's go. He like grabbed me like,
Because I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I have to go down there because
Yeah.
it seems like, sometimes you're in
Everybody
church,
looking at you.
everybody's looking at you.
Yeah.
So you're walking down the aisle and you're just like, oh man, everybody's looking at me. They know I have some type of problem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I knew I had to go down there. It's like something was pulling me to go down there. But I just felt ashamed walking down there.
So no, that's
in instances like that. That's when you need that friend.
yep.
Right.
You don't want to go by yourself.
Yep,
Exactly.
yep.
That's
So
why
that's
it's
what he did.
important.
He said, "Yo, John, come with me." I'm like, "What are you
Yeah.
doing?"
And-
All right, well, I'm gonna go down there.
And
Hold
that's
on.
why it's important to have the right people in your
True.
circle.
Exactly.
True. Facts.
Exactly.
That's dope.
Big facts.
Yeah.
So tell them what the So look, this is when it's this is when everything get real because people that's non-believers, you need to be believing because what this lady says and what happens from there is real deep. Go ahead, Akeem. I'm not even looking at him.
So we walk down there. John is walking down fast. You know what I'm saying? He didn't bop it down there. I'm walking behind him. So I'm like, all right, man. So now they got all these lines, and the lady, she opens up, and she's like, come here, baby. You know how they talk in church, you know. Come here, baby. What's going on? What's wrong? And I was just like, you know what I'm saying? I just want my job back. And she's like, oh, I feel something. I was like, start looking like, oh, you do? Like, I'm thinking in my mind.
You listen.
Yeah, she was like, because it's you know it's loud and
Yeah.
it's just us two. She's like literally right
Okay.
here, like she's holding me, and she was just like, Lord, get this man speed to run faster. Notice I only said job. You don't know what my job is.
Right.
The first thing she said was give this man speed to run faster.
Wow.
Give him the ability to jump higher.
Wow.
Give him a new agent.
Really? That's what she said.
This is how crazy this story is.
Wait, she said to give you a new
In the
Give me
middle,
a new
in the middle of it, he turns and looks at me like he shakes my hand like to look up
been talking
because
to
I got my head down.
Right.
He's like, yo, what's going on?
I
Like,
think John been talking
I'm
to
thinking,
her.
yeah,
John,
like,
like,
yo, you
yeah.
told her everything and she telling this to me like that's how you
Right.
looking at me.
I'm looking at him. John is listening
That's
like with
crazy.
his eyes like.
That's
and then when I
crazy.
look at John damn near look like he about to cry. His
Yeah.
eyes is red.
I'm like, whoa, what's going on? Like
Right.
this is getting real.
That's crazy.
And when she grabbed me in, she just start, just praying, make sure he good, like just take care of his body, da 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 da. And from then on, I was like, oh, this is
This dude came to every Sunday. He calling me, yo, John, I'm already at church. Where y'all at?
Right.
In the parking lot. He like, I'm in the parking lot. I'm like, yo, we pulling up like 10
Yo.
minutes.
Wow.
I'm a big time believer. And man, look, after that, you know what I'm saying? Like it didn't magically happen that I started running faster or jumping higher. Obviously, I'm putting in the work, but it still happened. It happened, and then the crazy thing is, I end up getting a new agent, and it's like everything just fell into
But
place.
from that point on, what has it been like for Akeem Scott? Not just Akeem Scott, but his family.
I mean,
Since then, it's like family came in,
Right.
like you got married, you got two beautiful kids. Like what's that? What going to that?
yeah. So now, once you start taking these steps, these steps to just being more of a man, I guess because it makes you more of a man. Because now you just, it's your spiritual journey. You know what I'm saying? It gives you
Yeah.
a little bit more toughness.
Maturity, growth.
Yeah,
growth.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so I get married. We have my baby girl Nove.
Nove.
We get a crib. Then we have my man Wolf, my little man Wolf. And now, we just traveling the world. We're traveling the world. We're doing everything that we thought we could do with the game, And this journey has been amazing for us.
Those are priceless moments.
Priceless moments.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
that like for the kids though? Like,
Yeah,
like,
that's dope.
cause I know the kids. Shout out to Nove and Wolf, my godson. They traveled the world.
Yeah, they travel the world.
And they go to school. They're getting educated in different languages.
Priceless.
Priceless
Wow.
moment. I got 2 daughters. They ain't been out the country. Okay, they they don't want.
right.
Every time we get ready to go out the country, like yeah, they're older, so
Right.
you it's already embedded in your kids because they're saying, yo, we going with daddy.
normal.
So your conversation with your agents now, and the people and the coaches and everybody that you talking to is like, yo, my family coming with me. This is what we want. Boom, 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 and I'm worth it. So, yo, sign right here.
So I'm right there. So I mean, that's what it is now for my career. Sometimes, like you said, you still got to make these sacrifices. And the sacrifice sometimes is we do have to be apart at times because sometimes it might just not feel right for the whole family, right? They might want to be somewhere else, and so they could be comfortable, and daddy does his job, and I meet back with them. It's similar how it is now. My kids, my wife and kids, when I go back to Indonesia, they go to Italy, and they finish school out there. My wife is Italian. And so for me, I go out to Indonesia, do my couple months, and then we come back. Right now we're on a break, so we all back home together. And then, everybody, go their ways.
That's
So question, let me ask you about your kids' names. Nove and Wolf.
Nove and Wolf.
Dope.
Right here, you see the chain. 9 is Nove. 9 is for the 9 fruits of the spirit. I wear that on my jersey. So I gave Nove that name. Oh, actually, she named herself pretty much. Really quick story. I was like, we were saying these different names that we wanted to give her, and when I said the name Nove, she kicked my wife in the belly, and we was like, that's her name. So she pretty much named herself.
Okay.
So we got Nove, number 9. That's what it stands for in Italian, and then we got Wolf. Everybody call me the Wolf across the water. So that's where they get their names from.
Dope.
And then you got this shirt on. Well, tell us about your brand.
Yeah.
How before you eat. So everybody calls me the Wolf because my aggression on the court. So it started off where I was just pretty much talking shit and just kicking ass, and then a lot of people
Love it.
A lot of people was motivated by me, and I said, like, you know what, I'm gonna use this in another way to motivate people. So the word "how" is used for the form of communication. You know, wolves howl. You know, how is for a form of communication to speak to your God, that universe, your friends about what you want. Before it comes, make sure you're prepared, because when opportunity comes, the only thing left is for you to do is to eat. So how before you eat. And that's the brand.
That's tough.
That's the brand, and that's the mantra that we live by.
Hey man, how can people connect with that? Like I know some people that just seen how he broke that down. They're like, yo, can I get a shirt? Can I get, what can I,
tell the people where they can
how
find
can I
your
connect,
brand, your
and
merch.
where can they find Akeem Scott? Like let's talk about where they can find you.
Yeah, so you can find me on pretty much a lot of social media pages. Instagram is usually what I'm on a lot. So you can find me at Akeem Scott, KeemScott. And you also can follow How Before You Eat for like motivational content. And you can find me on Twitter. I mean, not Twitter, well, Twitter as well, Akeem Scott. And then on TikTok, How Before You Eat, where we show.
You be TikToking?
Yeah, TikTok. I'm a foodie. So
okay.
you know,
He
I'm traveling
ain't
around
not
the
dancing.
world.
I saw you do a dance.
Yeah.
I'm traveling around the world, so I'm showing all the foods that we eating and stuff like that while we're
That's what's
traveling.
up.
And so you can find me on those platforms, and then you also go to www.howbeforeyoueat.com.
I got one question for you, Akeem. Yeah. If you had the chance to do it all over again, you had the opportunity to play in the NBA versus have your international overseas professional career, which would you have chosen?
Ooh-wee.
Oh man!
Right now, based off of what you know about your experience, what would you have chosen?
Oh man, it's the NBA.
Catch me courtside.
Yeah,
Catch me courtside.
It's the NBA. I mean, that's what I dream. That's the only reason why I'm playing overseas, is because the dream was to go NBA. And I'm not ashamed to say I failed. I failed in going to the NBA, but when you reach for the stars, you end up in the
He's
clouds.
still a professional basketball player to play for 17
but
years.
you've had so many priceless moments in life. That's why I asked that question, because you think if you play in the NBA, like you'll travel and do things like that and see the world and do all the things that you want. But even just going through what you've gone through to sacrifice, have the experiences that have actually helped mold you into the individual that you are today.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just like such a humbling experience.
Oh, for sure.
Versus, you have some people that go to the NBA and they just lose it.
Yeah, they don't even know why. They lose the passion for the game.
No,
They start paying.
Just lose, they get lost in the fame.
Yeah, all of that. Now it's about pictures and media and this and that, and they're not involved in the game. There's so many players that we can name. We're not doing that, but that's they get lost in the sauce.
Absolutely.
Nah, man, the wolf mentality. It would have been been special to see me out there.
It'd have been me
because
courtside.
I would have been one of those 94 feet guys.
Yeah.
Like,
You'd have been a Pat Beverly.
I would have been Akeem Scott.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? I would have been.
You're not gonna play that.
Shout out to Pat Bev. Just because some of us didn't make it overseas. I mean, didn't make it to NBA doesn't mean that we couldn't play.
Right. You couldn't compete.
It's a lot of politics.
Right.
You got to have the right agent sometimes. You got sometimes the luck. It's the luck. And mix it with your preparation. So a lot of us, we could have been on the stage with them, and I would have been a great 94 feet guy.
Speaking of that, because we really just looked over a lot of things. My man's playing year 17, and he gets invited to the All-Star game. Let's talk about this All-Star game. For the people that don't know, my man in year 17, and he won the MVP for All-Star game.
Facts.
Big up. Yeah. Congrats.
Appreciate you, man. God's glory.
Hey.
That's awesome.
Let's
Congrats.
talk about that.
Congratulations.
Because we had a conversation about this trophy and about like seeing the trophy before you got the trophy.
Yep.
And just going throughout that process.
Right. All right. So first, I'm gonna say God's glory. 17 years. You know what I'm saying? All-Star, and then being able to win MVP is just glory to him. So the trophy is sitting there. So while we in the, I'm a big believer of manifesting things. So we on the line. We're about to get called out, and right in front of me is the slam dunk contest trophy, the 3-point, and then the MVP, the foreign MVP, and then the local MVP, because it's two, because it's foreigners and locals. And something was like, just touch it, just grab it. It's already yours. Like, just see how it
Which one, the
feels.
foreign or the local?
Foreign.
Okay.
Yeah. So I rub the foreign. I rub the foreign MVP. I rub it down. I kind of like try to like see the weight of it, and I start thinking about it in the bar, like it's already in my bar. And then a young kid behind me, he goes, "Oh man, you just jinxed us. We're not gonna get it." And I looked at him. I said, "No, I just claimed it. That's mine." And my coach, when my coach heard that, he started like waving the trophy to him, like
yo,
bring that shit here. And we went out there, man. Like I told people before the game, I told the players in the locker room, and I told like some of like my interviews, like I'm going out there, I'm going to play hard. Like I'm not going out there to lollygag like how the NBA do and stuff like that. Like nah, I'm going in there. So I pulled out some Kobe's. I pulled out some old Kobe's. Kobe loved the All-Star game. Kobe always wanted to play hard in the All-Star game. So I knew if I put those on, I'm gonna show that. I'm gonna show him the respect. So I laced them bad boys up, and as soon as I got in the game off the bench, man, I just play hard and just
crazy?
Went crazy.
Went crazy.
Yeah, I
Went crazy. Went crazy. What was? Hold on, stats.
Stats. I think it was about 26 points, maybe like 8 rebounds or something like that. So like that was for an All-Star game. That's for any game.
Yeah.
But
Cheers.
Cheers. Hey.
Cheers.
Hey, shout out to my man Akeem Scott. Look, hey, they can find you at Akeem Scott on IG.
Yep.
And
Akeem
most
Scott
of your
on IG.
social media platforms.
Yes, sir.
And hey,
All right, so check it, Akeem. Definitely. Thank you. Thank you.
Always.
Big thanks for being
Appreciate y'all.
our guest. This is how we kicking off episode 1, y'all. We had to do it with none other than Akeem. But before we go, Akeem, we have a signature question,
Okay.
right? So I'm Mo Hustle. That's
Yep.
the grind guy, the hustle and the grind. So when it comes to the hustle,
Yep.
like what would you consider your ultimate hustle?
The ultimate hustle is sacrificing, for me, on the court, is sacrificing your body. Even out here in Atlanta, in the pro-am out here, they call me the hustler. So yeah, man, I'm always out there. I'm always going to dive for the ball. I'm always going to dive in the crowd for the ball. I'm going for every rebound. So for me, the hustle means sacrificing your body.
and what's the grind? What's the grind?
The grind is doing what most won't do. And so it's like early mornings, late nights, just pushing yourself mentally and physically to get what you want. So that's the grind for me. That's the hustle and the grind.
Hey, dope. Hey,
Appreciate you, my brother.
hey,
You already know.
appreciate you, boy.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, man, listen.